I now want to give you a small demonstration. Look at a quick retirement calculator. This isn't the calculator that you may use in the end if you want some in-depth financial planning. Most 10-star advisors use software called InSync, provided by one of the major mutual fund companies. But if we go and look at the retirement calculator, we just get out of this program. We go back to our program. And we go to the calculators, and we go to retirement calculator. Basically, how the retirement calculator works is very similar. How it works is we're going to say to you, pretend you're retiring today. So the first thing you have to do is state the date or the year or the age that you would like to retire. Let's assume you want to retire at age 65. Now, you must pretend you're 65 today. Now, the reason for that is you know the value of $1 today. If you were 65 today, you understand the value, the purchasing power of $1. If you're 35, if you're 45, how do you know the purchasing power of $1 20-odd years into the future? So if you pretend you're 65, put in the amount that you would need today, the math program will back calculate the inflation factor for you and do all the work for you. So it's a nice little calculator. So we're going to say, what is your current age? And it's showing here a male age 40. So most people don't have enough money to save for the retirement when they first get married. When they come out of university, they get married, they have no money. Next thing you know, they're starting a family, they've got a big mortgage. You know, they really are short of money. It's only when you get to 50 that things start to improve with promotions at work, a higher income, you have some surplus dollars to start saving. But it is important you start saving as soon as possible. And so let's assume you waited till you were 40 before you started to save. You wanted to retire at 65, you put that in. From 65, how many years do you think you're going to need this income? Well, longevity is improving at a very fast rate. This is why it always pays you to reviewing your life insurance on a regular basis, because mortality rates are improving. So life insurance rates are continually reducing. So you must review all your old policies. And you can see that it's very common now for people to live to their mid-80s. One spouse will probably live to well into their 80s. So I'm going to say that if I was 65 and retiring and I was age 40, I would need an income for 25 years at the most to take me to age 90. We do have a few folks going to 100 now. But there you go, 25 years I'm going to need this income. If you're 65 today, how much income do you need? Well, let's assume that husband and wife have a family income of around $100,000. Because you can always double it if your income's $200,000. So if your income's $100,000 today, how much income do you think you're going to need when you retire? Well, you won't have a mortgage payment, hopefully. Your kids will be out of university. So, you know, most people could get by with about $70,000. How much does Canada Pension Plan pay today if you were 65 today? It's a little over $8,000 a month. That's it. Sorry, a year. I apologize. Wouldn't that be nice? $8,000 a year. I'm going to say about $10,000, well, and let's say your spouse works as well, and she has $8,000 a year, $16,000. Old age security, they don't start to claw old age security back until you're about $62,000, $63,000. Then it is clawed back, and by $100,000 of income, you don't qualify for any old age security today. So let's say that from other sources and pensions and other RSPs, you have $20,000 a year coming in. So if you needed 70,000, you'd be short about 50, wouldn't you? Okay, just to give you a ballpark figure. So we're going to put in, I need an income of $50,000 when I retire from investments. And how much have you already saved for retirement? Well, what we have in here is $1,000. Well, let's say you have, you and your wife, you're 40, you've managed to save $20,000. Now, again, we're going to have to assume inflation. I'm going to assume 3% in this exercise. You can put in any inflation rate you like. Now, for the next period of time, 25 years, you can have a good investment portfolio, say, of quality balance funds. You may average about 7% return over the long run. So let's put in 7% there. Now, when you come to retire, what kind of income or do you think you'd want to have? Do you think you'd be more conservative? You know, what happens when people accumulate wealth? They become very conservative. Their biggest concern is they want to preserve it, and they don't want to run out of money. They work so hard to build it. So they're more conservative. So perhaps we'll look at perhaps 5% when you retire to be conservative. And you know, you can play around with this math program as much as you like and try all kinds of scenarios. But this would be a reasonable scenario. So it's very easy to correct it, isn't it? So it says you have to put away about 22,000. So with the 20,000 you saved, you have 42,000. But notice that the amount that you both have to put in increases. In year 5, you'd have to put away 25,108. In other words, the amount that you're putting away is increasing with inflation at 3%. And if you go down to year 15, you'd have to put away 33,743. That would be the same as 22,000 today in today's money if you had inflation at 3%. And you can see the value of your funds that particular year would be 771,000, but the purchasing power in today's dollars would only be 495,000. And you can see this would accumulate to 2 million for a 40-year-old. And $2 million would be worth 1 million in today's money. And you can see when they start their income, the present value of deposit is 50,000. Now, under the calculator that's on our website, which is slightly different from this calculator, it doesn't say present value of deposits. It gives you the heading says income. So your income is 50,000, okay, but the actual withdrawal would be 104,000, and that would be your balance in your account. When you're 72, you would actually take out 128,000, and that would be the same as 50,000 in today's money, because your income is going up with inflation. And you can see by age 89, all your capital has gone. So it takes really a lot of money to provide you with an income that's going to go up with inflation when you retire, far more than people realize. And it's better that you know now rather than find out later, okay? And you can play with this software and do all kinds of scenarios to see what suits you and what's reasonable, okay? And financial planning for your future is a PowerPoint that's also on our website, and your advisor can go through it with you to give you some investment strategies. Because you can invest tax efficiently, and you can also obtain tax efficient income, which is more sophisticated and complicated. So there's 2 calculators, a retirement calculator and a life insurance calculator.